that's really why we opted to go with Joe. I think we also wanted to kind of defy, have that shock value initially upon our launch too, and be able to leverage that. Where it's like, damn, he got a couple women podcasts. This is crazy. It was kind of off brand for him, and off brand for us in the sense that my musical audience is primarily women. Her audience is her horrible decisions
primarily
audience is
women. So yeah, I got the slack.
Yeah,
I 100% got the slack, Adam.
Really?
Yeah.
So you felt you took the bad end of the stick?
Both of us did,
Really?
and I think that in terms of
we had a third co-host.
Yeah.
So
And then the daggering incident happened, and then things got weird. The daggering, is
what
that
was
what it's
the
called?
Daggering? What's daggering? We were daggered?
Well, no, he danced on her, and that's like that daggering stuff I always see on Twitter.
That's not what happened.
That is not what happened.
That wasn't daggering?
You're being
That's
extra.
not what
You're adding
happened.
to the.
You put dubs on that.
Maybe I'm not
definitely
familiar
added
with the
to it.
technical definition of daggering.
No,
That's what I thought it was.
I mean, it's not even the definition. Even the demonstration.
I mean, for sure, there was a dagger in what that relationship looked like in terms of her working with us, because again, she felt she was hurt by the actions and words of the CEO of this network, and we completely understand she has all rights too. But I didn't want it to end what we had going on. I still felt like, and I'm not gonna lie, we ate a lot of that. In post.
That put you in such a tough spot.
Oh my goodness!
Huh?
Well,
Adam, it did.
The part that was so infuriating too was kind of everybody seemed to want to hold us accountable for the actions of a man, which was kind of like, I mean, that's what we all opposed from the very beginning. Was kind of like, if this is, you're trying to hold a man accountable, but somehow we were catching strays because we were in the same space at the same time. And I think a lot of what podcasting, a lot of the environment of podcasting in general is really unconventional, non-traditional banter. So what we ordinarily in the workspace would chalk up to just something that made someone uncomfortable, or that might be deemed inappropriate in a traditional setting was completely offensive, and it totally slipped past my radar, slipped past Mandi's radar.
Can I say something that's not going to be I guess popular opinion or a hot take?
Yes.
But I told you I was going to say this. I think our decision to stay, I want to put a little bit on me because it was solely from probably a selfish space.
Mm-hmm. You'd already been building something for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Weeks, my nigga. Year and a half.
Oh shit.
I have been talking with Ian and Joe and his team on what it looked like for what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to kind of go a little bit outside of the sex realm, and I have so much more to offer that in terms of bringing her into this space, I also know the money that's there, and in terms of how it may have looked to the outside, I said, it's about to get bumpy. And unfortunately, it did come from a selfish space where I was like, we're going to ride this out. We're going to ride this out. And although we look at things, and I think we talk about even the last time I was here with you, we talked about the what is it? It's not companionship, compadreship. I don't know. Camaraderie. There we go, bitch.
I'm her pocket thesaurus.
Don't you like them two sitting there watching you?
No, but seriously,
they're like, what word is she gonna say?
Nah, bitch was about to go Spanish on their ass. But when we talked about how women stick up for other women, even in terms of the Nicki Minaj segment, we're not going to get into that. But it was like, I'm here for me. This was something I just worked for the last year and a half on, and I brought you here. You moved from LA. I know the money here. I love the product that we have, and I'm so confident in it. Can we ride this out? And it was selfish. It was very selfish of why we stayed with keeping the show going.
Mandi was very selfish about it. I was very selfless about it, and I saw it more as an opportunity for Joe to rise to the occasion in the space by not being able to run from it, right? Because in personal conversations, right, I think now, obviously Joe has as a person had a reputation for his own self with his dealings with women in romantic relationships and so on and so forth.
Dogs. But like all of that. Like that shit crazy. That shit
Not
crazy.
The dogs. Not the dogs. God. We
let those dogs out.
Yeah, that's not love. But
Out of
anyway,
the fact that that's the song you went to, I love that for you.
yeah, please, it's giving. Please let the dogs
It's
out.
giving Disney
Please let them-
Channel, but
There's
go.
so many rap
Giving
songs
let them
that have
out,
like
let
been
them
about
go.
I
dogs
know
over
it,
there.
and you go straight to
As I
Disney
have,
Channel.
Baja Man all day.
DMX on my shirt.
You
like,
know,
come on now.
Damn.
All right.
No, I really. I know.
Another good dog.
Another good dog.
Dog owner.
No, I think for me it was really more of seeing an opportunity for someone that seemed to be doing the work on his own to kind of
He really was.
to kind of step up and own and be accountable for the bullshit that he participated in and caused and was the catalyst for, and then also still, not be able to use, well, this happened and then everyone just leaves, right? And not be able to say that, well, this shit hit the fan and then as women we jump ship. I didn't want to jump ship and not give him the opportunity to be the man that he said he was trying to be.
I think that was too, and we talked about this when Rory came on our pod, but friends and business.
Right.
I think we chose in that space to show up to Joe as a
friends.
friend instead of look at it from a completely like PR political type of lens, which, like I said, we took the fucking rap for. Like,
We lost a lot. We lost a lot of guests wanted to come on.
It's why the fuck I'm in therapy. If I want to be completely honest with you, as
Yeah.
far as what I've experienced in this space as a podcaster, that was by far like the bottom.
Did you feel like you had to choose between your friend and your identity group? Because of course, like, you as a black woman, you're expected to stand up for other black women. Like that had to be a part of like the whole decision, right? Like, you're standing by this man instead of this other black woman, right? I feel like that would be a lot of the heat you were taking.
But here's the thing in which, and she probably gonna cut me off on this because she probably don't want me to say this, but we could be women, but
Yeah.
we ain't friends with everybody. We don't like everybody. Like, and so when we talk about, oh my God, all these rapper women should be friends and come together, we don't ask that of men. And at the end of the day, we're all still humans, and I rock for who I want to rock with. And there was a relationship again where I had with Joe for beyond 10 years. I met Liv a week before starting the pod. And so unfortunately, where it came to, am I standing with the overall aspect of women or am I standing with someone? Unfortunately, because again, in retrospect, maybe wasn't the best decision. However, I chose to just stand with a friend.
I think it was the best decision. But I think we made the right decision. But I will say that I think the part that's tough about being in the space and in the culture that we exist in is that as much as we would love to preach solidarity, as much as our audience and our demo would love to preach solidarity, it doesn't really exist.
It don't.
Right. And
That's
so-
some bullshit.
and so-
Everyone's individuals.
Everyone's individuals. And I think when
You rich because you stand on your motherfucking own. I told her too, fuck these other podcasters, fuck
When
these other
individuals-
creators,
I
man.
ain't bringing no other white guys up with me. This
hate you.
rising
He's
tide
not-
ain't bringing your boat up,
He's
buddy.
he's not bleaching your hair for this. Just know.
Hey, I did the same thing that Lil Durk did to his hair.
But
No,
I think,
yo, chill.
well,
saying.
I think.
Come on, Cisco.
I think we've all.
Mankini. Cisco in the mankini. That's why everyone thinks he's gay, because he rocked that.
Which is dumb.
yeah.
It's just European. But anyway, it's just European.
No. You're thinking of a Speedo. This was a mankini, like
It's-
like the Borat.
Have
thing.
you been to Barcelona in the summer?
I haven't. I didn't. Yeah, I seen a lot of Speedos. Yeah.
It's a lot of
mankinis.
Really?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, let's spend more time on the beach. Okay.
Just be naked.
But I do. I think we have, like, as Mandii said, the only thing I will agree with is that there's unrealistic expectations put on women, especially black women, to change the narrative that exists for us already. That was predetermined by men that exist, and the men that created that narrative for us are not even the ones in control of the narrative for themselves. So,
Come on,
where
women.
that's
I love the
concerned-
black women in the
The black
room.
women over there are loving that one. Damn.
but it's because it's true. It's
Right,
true,
yeah.
right? Joe himself is not in control of his own narrative.
Right.
And the numbers speak for themselves. What Spotify gave Joe Rogan is not what Spotify gave Joe Budden, and that's bullshit. Straight
Why?
up, straight like that.
He's like a million times bigger than Joe Budden.
a million times bigger doesn't mean a million times better. So are we qualifying based on content, or are we qualifying based on
when you're a
celebrity?
tech company that's valuing podcasts based on how many ads they're going to eventually display
When
to
you
the
right,
audience,
but when you have that amount of money, there shouldn't be that big of a gap between how much you pay one and how much you pay the other when they're serving two different markets altogether.
both of them got paid what they were able to negotiate within the free market, don't you think?
What they're able to negotiate is not necessarily what they deserve. That's
then
my
they
point.
fucked up.
That's not on them.
Yes, it is. You negotiate your own worth.
But
That's why he
you
left.
walked away.
And
That's why you
left.
walk away.
That's why he left.
But
So-
he couldn't negotiate more. I mean, that's just how it goes. Like if
Right.
I sign you tomorrow for $50K a year, and then you get another offer, and it's like, hey, we're
Right.
going to give you $500,000. It's like, I can't pay you. Then
Right.
if
I
you're
mean,
not worth that to me, then I
but-
can't
but-
pay.
but
it,
Adam,
right?
I told you
which
in
is
terms
fine,
of-
but
yeah.
whether or not we don't determine the value based on what someone is willing to pay us. That's not how we determine. That's not how we determine
Maybe not
the
your
value.
internal value, but in terms
No.
of your value in the marketplace, like I mean,
For sure, but if we're
this
looking
bag
at
of weed
numbers,
is worth what people will pay me for it.
It's true, but if we're looking at numbers, Joe Budden's numbers and his like contract, whatever he promised, he exceeded by a landslide. That was why I say what he got was not what he deserved. So in the grand scheme of things, as women, especially as Black women podcasters in the space that we're in, I'm not interested, number one, in participating in the crabs in a barrel conversation about, and that was what a lot of the commentary was for Mandii and I. Well, they just doing what's right for them, which is what most people would have done in the space. It's not necessarily to diminish or invalidate another woman's claims and how she felt. But we also have to be realistic and honest about the fact that a lot of feelings and emotions are subjective. They don't necessarily apply, number one, in a legal space, and number two, in a personal space. In a personal space. How we feel about each other, we don't have to agree with one another's feelings for both feelings to be valid. There can be several truths that exist at the same time.
True.
And so I don't think we were granted the grace, which actually for Mandii and I cemented our reason for staying on the network even more, because it let us know y'all don't have the same standards for everybody else, because the same people that want to shit on us and tell us that we should have left Joe Budden's network are still watching Joe Budden podcast. So in my mind, it was kind of like, I'm not interested in facing consequences that I didn't sign up for.
But also that was my problem as a woman in this space. I'm friends with, I'm working with, I'm partners with a lot of men that have allegations. And so the idea that I now can't work with men because maybe they're gonna make a woman feel uncomfortable. And it's like almost even coming into the space, it's like, should I expect that? Should I expect every man I know to have at one point in their lifetime made a woman feel uncomfortable? And unfortunately, I'm in that space, and I don't think we've grown past that to where I'm like, yeah. But to me, I still look at intent. And I know, like realistically, mind you, off air, there was a 45-minute conversation that happened before those cameras and mics turned on.
That day.
Exact day.
And
regarding
after.
the same
And after.
I wasn't sure if it
and
became
during-
controversial much later. Okay.
Oh, so mind you, Joe is Joe.
Right.
Joe is where he's at in this fucking space because he is. And so we sat there and talked for over an hour, and he was like, y'all bitches ain't ready for this. All of this should have been on camera if y'all was really about this pod life. And so he almost sunned us to where he was like, yeah, I'll sit here and continue this conversation. However, when the mics and camera turned on, he turned it to podcast Joe, not CEO Joe. Okay. And that's where it fell short. However, like there was a really real and genuine conversation where he tried to sit here and feel all of our where we were at that space
and apologize in the moment.
And that happened in which everyone doesn't see. However, it was just like, damn, maybe bad timing. It was definitely done in poor taste, and we acknowledge that. If you listen to the episode, I said, I don't know why niggas think that saying you want to fuck me is a compliment. It's not. And we spoke about that as an actual topic on that same episode. And so the fact that we were called fucking ugly bitches or whatever, like we also were able to receive that as just because of a friendship that he didn't have with that third
Which
co-host.
also made me laugh because I was like, "Ooh, no man's ever called me ugly before."
Really?
Like, nigga,
Welcome to podcasting.
I was like, "Oh, so we performative today.
Well,
We gonna lie.
and
So
it
now
was-
you gonna lie to my face."
And it was
'cause we on a
performative,
podcast.
but also
Heard
we're
you.
talking about facials. We're talking about sucking dick. We're talking about getting flown out. We're talking about all these things that in a regular corporate setting are not HR sensitive. So how do you justify what you can say to where it doesn't violate? Like, and I'll be completely completely honest, when the departure of her happened, our entire team was men in the room. And I come in talking about sucking dick, like, damn, not you having gray sweatpants off. I may hit a little ass. And I literally had to tell the whole male team that we had, I said, hey guys, if I've ever made you feel uncomfortable in my sexual jests or advances, because that's just who I am, and I think that it's supposed to be that, I said, I apologize to y'all, and please let me know if I make you feel uncomfortable as a man.
Yeah, that's your woman privilege right there, because
It
I don't
was.
really, if I walk in the office and I'm like,
No,
I
it
was just
was.
getting my dick sucked, yada, yada.
And
Somehow,
I
as soon as I'm behind the mic, it feels very okay, but I try to really, really keep it kosher
Yeah,
That's,
outside.
I had to apologize to the whole team.
But that was also why I say this first year of podcast of
Was
this
a lot.
podcast
We
was
learned
a
a
whole
crash
lot.
course, because even what we thought was deemed appropriate because we're on the mic was still inappropriate. It was
Okay,
there was
yeah.
still things that were said that were still received and landed in an offensive way to our former co-host. So much so, in fact, that she left. And then, you know what I mean? I can't even imagine. And Mandii has less empathy for her than I do, only because I've gone through shit publicly and then had to face comments and people in my comment section.
Right.
When she had posted a video alleging about the episode and the situation, people were in her comments being so nasty and mean and rude, and saying that she was full of shit and, oh, you're just thirsty. And all I could think to myself was, this is exactly why women don't say shit. It's because
And
of
we had
shit
that
like this.
conversation.
And so, you know, I don't hold anything against her. Actually ran into her in the club recently. She was in the club with all of us. Mandii had left. I was smacked. I had Jameson. I had Casamigos galore.
It's always good when you see somebody you have issues with and you're insanely fucked up and it just doesn't really
wait,
feel like that big a deal.
Adam, can I tell you how upset I was? I
she
said,
was
ooh,
pissed.
what did y'all talk about? She said, bitch, I was so
I don't
drunk, I don't remember.
I don't
And
fucking
said,
remember.
Oh!
All I remember.
I was so mad,
I've
Adam.
been there. I've been
Adam,
there.
I was
like,
pissed.
fuck, I don't remember.
I said, I'm sure it was a kumbaya moment, and you can't even tell
And
me
then
what
you
the
see
fuck
him
I
when you're
was.
sober and it's kind of like, damn,
probably
did we
was.
really make up?
But what
Still
happened?
kinda
I don't
hate you.
remember.
Hey, can you make sure my salads are in the fridge?
Look, come on, salads.
Because I feel like my salads are going to...
What I tell you
Salads
about
are in
LA,
the
bitch?
fridge.
What did I tell you about LA?
I lived here for 9
Fucking
years.
avocado toast and salad.
Where'd you get your salads from? Erewhon?
Mendocino Farms. I'm
Mendocino
I'm
Farms.
38 years old.
Yo.
I'm not eating Kennedy Fried in the middle of the
Okay,
day. I'm going to
talk
feel
your
like
shit.
shit.
My bad. You shop
Look.
at Gelson's too? Is that where you get your groceries?
I don't go to the grocery store, but my girl orders food.
I don't go
think
to the
from-
grocery
The
store.
privilege of it all.
Wow,
He
that
said
is
I'm rich.
wealth.